a few years ago, but husband took on a new job. It was for a small startup business, and he took a massive pay cut to do it because he loved what he was working on. It meant long hours, so I willingly took on all the household responsibilities so he could work to the best of his abilities. Taking on all the responsibilities with our kids, and I also brought some money in with a small side job of my own. His hard work has paid off for us. This business has taken off, and it looks to make a fair bit of money. More than we have ever had, and my husband has gotten a substantial pay increase from it, as well as a share of the company, and his boss paid him a huge bonus. He also got a few other perks like a company car. We're currently building our dream house. We were also planning to invest some of the money, so we had something aside for our retirement. Mother-in-law came to us the other day and told us that sister-in-law needs to move. She is currently renting, but the only properties available near her kids' school are for sale, not rent. She said we could afford to buy sister-in-law a new house and have sister-in-law pay off the house to us. Husband was on the fence with the idea. He thinks sister-in-law deserves a break. She has health issues and could use the help, but I didn't agree. I said sister-in-law is great and responsible, but I don't like making these kinds of financial deals with family. They always go sideways, and I'm not 100% on board with the idea. I mentioned before we do anything, I'd like to contact our accountant and lawyer, so we can see any issues that may arise from an arrangement like this. It will also mean that our investment idea won't be able to happen. Mother-in-law freaked out at me and told me that it's husband's money, not mine, and I'm just being a gold digger. I have no rights to any of it, and husband can spend it in any way he wants. I have no say. She said my husband worked hard for this bonus, not me. Apparently she always thought I was money hungry, and this money is allowing my true colors to show. Sister-in-law needs help, and he should help family. She told me I'm a greedy a-hole that only cares about money. Once she left, she texted my husband he needs to consider a divorce because I'll keep a tight leash on money that is rightfully his and won't let him spend it how he sees fit. She also said he needs to get a good family lawyer to take the kids away from me, or I'll use that as leverage to take more of his money. I also feel I need to add that when I met my husband, he had a retail job, which he quit, and I supported him while he finished his education. I supported him when he had a crappy job when his boss paid him nothing. It's never been about money for me, but now we have it. I just want to be careful. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. Your mother-in-law's the real gold digger here, and is projecting that onto you. Don't you dare tell my son what to do with his money. Buy your sister a house. Not the a-hole, and your husband needs to defend you and put her back in her place, ASAP. You are correct in getting your financial house in order first before anyone else. And I also agree with the never enter into loans or money deals with friends or family. Too much drama follows. Not the a-hole. Gold digger. Who is asking for money, having done nothing for it? Raising husband doesn't count. That was her job. You were the one supporting your husband while seeing if husband's informed. Big bet paid off. Mother needs to put her own money up for sister-in-law, or let sister-in-law and grandkids live in her house, which is, of course, what she's trying to avoid by spending her son and your money. A little no contact is in order unless mother-in-law comes to her senses, and she accepts that if she hadn't ducked up in raising sister-in-law, she wouldn't be on the hook for raising sister-in-law's children. My older brother was married briefly, and it didn't work out. He recently remarried. She's 22, he's 33. She's very pretty, but very young. She comes off as younger than she is in her attitude. She also doesn't seem unintelligent per se, but she has a high school education and has never worked a day in her life, and doesn't seem that interested in personal growth, education. She and my brother's explicit plan is to start having kids as soon as possible, ideally 3 or 4. She is right now a stay-at-home wife and will be a stay-at-home mom. They're already trying to get pregnant. My brother and I both inherited a nest egg when our dad passed away a decade ago, and our mom is well off too, and he makes large salary personally. He has several properties and a full-time housekeeper. I don't have a problem with her or with him, though I do think the maturity levels seem like it would be an issue. I'm only 26, and due to this age difference have always had trouble relating to my brother as an equal. He can be patronizing, etc. At best, 22-year-old is equally mature to me, but realistically, a bit less mature since she's 4 years younger. So if my brother and I can't always relate as equals, it's hard to imagine her and him relating as equals. But like I said, she's not far from my age, so to me she's more of a peer, and I don't dislike her. She's fine. And I'm not working right now either, because like I said, I have money from my parents and a small business on the side. I do recognize it's a privilege to not have to work right now. So we've been hanging out sometimes during the weekdays, like grabbing coffee or going to the gym. I was at their house after going to the gym with her, and my brother was there. While she was grabbing something from another room, my brother took a shot at me for being unemployed and being able to just go to the gym for hours in the middle of the workday. I said, we're both going to the gym in the middle of the workday. Your wife is unemployed too. He said that's different. And I said, don't take shots at me for not working if you have a trophy wife doing the same. He got really offended and yelled at me. But in the process of him being offended, his wife heard what I said. Or maybe she overheard my comment. I'm not sure. She was upset too. But am I wrong for calling a spade a spade? Everyone sucks here, except maybe her. It sounds like you're trying to be friendly with her, then just insulting her. You like her enough to hang out with her, so don't be crummy to her. Your brother deserves a clapback, but not one at her expense. Everyone sucks here. Your brother for taking a stab on the fact that you are unemployed, while his wife is in the same boat. You for calling her a trophy wife. It's just not a nice term, and, in my opinion, pretty derogatory. So I can imagine that especially she is feeling upset about it, especially if you're hanging out as peers. Everyone sucks here. Your brother was wrong to say what he did, but you were also out of line when you lashed out at his wife in the same manner that he lashed out at you. A stay-at-home wife is not necessarily the same as a trophy wife. If you had simply left it at unemployed, I wouldn't be so critical of you, and I would agree that you were calling a spade a spade. You escalated up to insults by calling her a trophy wife, though. Me, 32 male, and my wife Alexa, 31 female, have an 8-year-old son named Drake. We have an established rule within our parenting style. It's a 2 yes and 1 no rule for anything. We've had success with this, and there hasn't been any issues. She's used to it regarding some of my hobbies. She doesn't want Drake doing at his age. I respect that. Now the issue. I don't want Drake hanging around Alexa's sister, her kids. Alexa's sister Jackie is a crap person. When we first started dating, Jackie was married to a guy I knew. Well, not only did she cheat on him with a member of his own family, she tried to steal money from their joint accounts and then took the guy to court for alimony. When that didn't work, she tried for full custody. It was an absolute crap show and exposed the kind of person she is. After that, I didn't want Drake spending any time around her, because my theory is that morally defective adults raise bad kids. Her kids are already exhibiting some of her behavior. Also, she has a random string of boyfriends now, so I don't want Drake exposed to that, or for him to be around random guys I don't know. I also don't know what Jackie is capable of either. My wife understood these concerns and promised to never have Drake around her sister, kids. Drake has plenty of cousins from my side, and also Alexa has a brother with his own kids, so it isn't like Drake is struggling for friendship. I went golfing on Saturday, but right before the round, my group canceled, so I went back home and my wife, son, were nowhere to be found. Her car was in the garage still, so I freaked out and called her. Her location wasn't showing up, so I went to all of her family's houses, eventually finding her and Drake at Jackie's pool with some other members of their family. I walked into the backyard and told Drake to grab his things, and we were leaving. My wife was shocked to see me, and asked why Drake had to leave. I told her she knew the reason, and so stopped BSing. This is when her sister mouthed in and asked why Drake wasn't allowed over. I told her she knew why, and to not speak to me. She said I was an a-hole. I said better than a cheater and a thief. My wife's parents got super upset at that, and my wife asked me to speak outside. I said nope, grabbed Drake's stuff, and we walked out of the backyard with my wife following. She was asking to talk and that she needed a ride home because Jackie picked them up. I told her to get an Uber home because we were going to my mom's. I left and have been staying at my mom's the past couple days. My wife has called and tried showing up, but me and my mom have told her to leave. She wants an apology for embarrassing her and wants me to come home. I'm refusing until she apologizes for doing what she did. We're both standing firm. I feel like this is the hill to die on. She turned her location off, took my son to a place she knew I didn't approve of, and has tried to make me the bad guy. I need to know if I'm crazy or if she is wrong here. Am I the a-hole? Edit. For people asking if I'm keeping my wife from my son, the answer is no. She has come into my mom's house and had dinner with us, and has also been able to stop by and say hello. She wants both of us to come home. I also have a hard time believing this was the first time this has happened. I'm approving of Drake being around Jackie at family holidays or big events. But this was not just Jackie, my wife, their parents, and the kids, along with some random dude I assume is Jackie's boyfriend. So it wasn't a whole family event. Edit. For people saying I'm controlling for having my wife's location, she was literally the one who wanted it, so we always knew where each other were. It wasn't like I went immediately searching either. It was hours of no response. I didn't go looking till about 4 hours after I came home. Not the a-hole. She broke a rule you both agreed on, purposely hid it from you, and is refusing to acknowledge that she was in the wrong. And to all the people who are saying that you can't keep her away from her family, I assure you that sometimes that is needed. Edit. Just to add. If you do a gender swap, no one would be calling the wife an a-hole if the dad brought their kid around their brother who they agreed to keep away from. Yes, the a-hole. Your reaction to her taking him there was to take the kid and not allow her to see him. Big ducking yikes. Because my theory is that morally defective adults raise bad kids. I can confirm that your theory is BS. Sometimes it may be true, but it's absolutely not 100% true. Don't punish children for the actions of their parents. The fact that you believe this blows my ducking mind. Yes, the a-hole, controlling his duck, and seem to have a holier-than-thou mindset. I'm not going to argue that her sister has done bad things because she clearly has, but you're spilling what she has done onto her innocent kids. Because my theory is that morally defective adults raise bad kids. Please get over yourself. I know lots of friends with parents who have questionable behavior, and I also have a cheating dad, but you don't see us running around copying their behavior. You act like kids don't have a mind of their own, and aren't capable of coming to moral conclusions themselves. She clearly had to go behind your back to spend time with her family, which is very telling. Your reaction was dramatic as duck, and the fact you still are prohibiting her from her kids is even worse. Yes, the a-hole, yes, the a-hole, yes, the a-hole. Not the a-hole. Don't listen to these people telling you you're the a-hole. Your wife agreed not to bring your son to her sister's. Then she lied to you, waited until you weren't home, and snuck away with your son. That's very deceitful. Your role is stupid in my opinion, but that doesn't change the fact that your wife agreed to those roles and then betrayed you. I recently got married, and my relationship with his mom has never been good. To be perfectly honest, we despise each other, and she enjoyed causing drama during my wedding planning. We had an island destination wedding, and most of our family stayed a few days and made a mini vacation out of it. The night before the wedding, we had the rehearsal dinner, and afterwards people were swimming. She had an incident in the water and was caught in a riptide and thrown against rocks. It was scary to watch, so I can't imagine how she was feeling, and she hit the rocks a couple times before she could climb out. In the morning, I went to check on her just to be nice. She was pretty bruised and made a comment about how short her dress was and her leg looked gross. Her chest was also scratched up, and the dress would show that. Honestly, I just felt bad for her, and it did look gross. Her sister asked if she could wear the dress she wore a few nights ago because it was long. Mother-in-law said no because it was white. I said I was giving her a pass to wear white if she felt more comfortable in it. Mother-in-law was calm and didn't get mad, but said she didn't trust me and felt like it was a setup to make her look crazy, and that I'd let everyone laugh at her, or my bridesmaids pull some prank. I was furious. I was trying to be nice to her, and clearly that is what she thinks of me. I asked if she truly believed that, and she said yes. I said if she really thinks that little of me, she can go home and we don't want her. She rolled her eyes and asked if I was serious. I said yes. If she's going to accuse me of things and think the worst of my kindness, get the duck out. Mother-in-law said I was being dramatic, and she doesn't owe me trust. I later found out that she was telling people at the wedding about how I tried to kick her out, and a lot of people took her side. My husband is always on my side, but even he says I overreacted, and if she doesn't trust me, I can't make her, and it is her issue to work through, but no reason to kick her out. Yes, the a-hole. You said it yourself. You despise each other. I kind of get why she did not trust the white dress thumbs up. I would be cautious too. Not to mention that even if the bride gives the thumbs up, other guests may still find such outfit inappropriate. And you blew it out of proportion. You definitely overreacted. Yes, the a-hole. She gets pretty badly hurt, and you say her injuries look gross. Maybe your heart was in the right place, but considering how in bad taste that is viewed, especially for mother of the groom to wear white, and your admittedly bad relationship, no wonder she thought you were setting her up to look bad. I wouldn't have trusted it either. Everyone sucks here. You really shouldn't have gotten so angry with it. You were already at the destination. You already despise each other. There's obviously a huge issue of distrust here. She wants to be silly with the whole setup thing. Just shrug your shoulders and say, well, I offered. You took the bait. You came out looking like the bad guy. Up the